We will miss you, Muppet Vision. Indeed, we will absolutely miss it. And, well, speaking of missing it, it looks like somebody across Side Drive will be missing it as well. Who am I talking about, folks? I'm talking about, well, Universal Studios. Here we go. Let me go ahead and put this on screen right now. Universal Orlando Resort. A salute to all theme parks, but mostly Universal.
Look at the timestamp on that, Vesh. It's on Saturday in the middle of the day, just like right in the midst of all the nonsense. Right.
And to illustrate that here, folks, going off of Marvin's beautiful article once again here, MuppetVision 3D closing day sees fan passion and genuine love for Jim Henson as Disney shutters beloved attraction forever this June 8th, 2025. You can see in this article on June 7th was when MuppetVision 3D actually closed down forever. Mm-hmm. So like Marvin just brought up right now, they did it in the middle of the day as this was closing. Now, for people who might not recognize that line, well, that's the famous line from Sam Eagle, right? Let's see. Let me see if I have it on the soundboard.
It's called A Salute to All Nations, but mostly America.
Great.
Awesome stuff right there. So
amazing.
They were highlighting that. I just think this is a really funny story, and a real fun story in order to honor such a beloved attraction. Even Universal has a soft spot for MuppetVision 3D. Now, that being said, Universal has had its own foray in closing down beloved attractions, not so much in the Comcast era, but certainly before, right?
No, I agree with you. We saw it with Back to the Future. We saw it with Jaws. We saw it with Kongfrontation. Universal, they closed down some pretty hefty, heavy hitters.
Yes. And I mean, even at Universal Studios Hollywood, they got rid of, this was before the Comcast era, but still, they got rid of E.T. for Mummy, which was not great. Even Confrontation, as you were saying before, they got rid of that for Mummy, at least on the East Coast right there. Man, Back to the Future. That was such a stunning, amazing attraction right there. I loved it to death. To sit in a DeLorean and go through Doc Brown as he chased Biff right there. That was really, really cool, but unfortunately had to get rid of that. There was just some amazing stuff at Universal, but I don't think any of that was maybe as beloved in the same way as the Muppets. That's the ironic part about it. There was such a deep, intimate connection with Jim Henson's work that I don't think Universal had ever achieved in quite the same way. Do you agree?
Right. I agree. I mean, look, we've seen them close things like Splash. I don't even think Splash Mountain had this kind of love poured into it on its final day. I've never seen anything like this. I mean, this was beloved. This is like, you saw like idiots like walking around the Muppet courtyard wearing a Randall hat from Monsters Inc. and the entire courtyard booed him. So
yeah, I saw that.
You're seeing a lot of you're just seeing a lot of love for it, and it was sad. Like, I honestly had a hard time watching a lot of the footage. The only stream that I watched fully was the Park Hoppin' one, just because I love those guys. But it was sad. Like, to me personally, it was just very, very sad. And that's why I loved the fact that that Universal threw that shade. Well, it's funny. We did an article a while back that Dollywood actually has more classic Muppets in it than Walt Disney World does right now, because in the Dolly Parton experience and like the big career retrospective, they play clips of her talking to Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog.
Oh man, yeah, I remember that that kind of interaction between Dolly Parton and Kermit the Frog and all of that. I can't remember. Do you remember what that was from exactly?
I think the Kermit one was her on the Muppet Show, and the Piggy one might have been too. I don't remember exactly, but I have the footage somewhere. But yeah, there it is.
And this from that Park Place, Dollywood will have more classic Muppets than Walt Disney World after MuppetVision 3D closes December 20th, 2024. Oh, it's terrible.
Yep. You can play the video right there.
Let's go ahead and bring this up right here and show what Marvin's talking about right here.
Oh, you got lovely eyes too. First of all, stop saying water. That's not country. Okay. How many times have you ever heard Johnny Cash say why? Okay, gotcha. No, maybe 6
That's good stuff right there.
It's perfect.
Love
It's
that.
perfect. It's just classic Muppets. So
Oh, well, it was cool to see Universal throw in their hat into the conversation right there and throw some much needed shade towards Disney's direction. I mean, it's so sad, and as somebody pointed out on the pro show last night, literally the plot of every single Muppets anything is the theater's closing, and so apparently Disney was the ultimate villain, as maybe forecasted by Jim Henson himself, because obviously they had some real big impediments from Henson himself from fully acquiring the Muppets and in the way that Disney eventually did. Oh, it's so unbelievably tragic.
Yes, Bob Iger and Josh D'Amaro have accomplished what Miss Bitterman and Tex Richmond could not by tearing down the Muppet Theater.
It's absolutely incredible, amazing.
You say Bitterman Bank on there too.
Yeah,
that's from it's a very, very Muppet Christmas movie.
Right. Oh man. Well, at least people are having fun in the way that they can. Let's see here. I believe yes. Okay. Sorry, Sione Reese with the 499. Instead of Monsters Inc. Land, why not make it into a Muppets Land and add a few more Muppets attractions and be immersive? You see, ironically about this, Sione Reese, they actually did have plans to do a really for real Muppets Land with Muppets attractions. In fact, there's concept artwork out there for a great Muppets movie ride in which the characters would have reenacted famous scenes from Hollywood films in days gone by, but like Muppified, which is absolutely hilarious. It's a great piece of concept artwork, showing like what is it? It's alive Frankenstein scene, but with Muppets characters. I think Beaker's on the table right there. It's absolutely hilarious. Unfortunately, when Jim Henson died, all that really went away.
Yeah, I mean, there was supposed to be, the Muppet Courtyard was supposed to be a fully immersive Muppets Land. They were supposed to have Gonzo's Pandemonium Pizza Parlor. You were supposed to have the Great Muppet Ride, which, like you say, it was supposed to be so much more than what we eventually got. I mean, we haven't even had a Muppet store since the lockdowns, because, the Muppet store featured, sets from the Great Muppet Caper and Muppets Take Manhattan. It used to be the entire store was all Muppet merchandise. When I was a kid, it was the most amazing place I had ever seen in my life. And then they took all that away. By the end, the Muppet stuff was in one little corner, and the rest of it was all just generic Disney merchandise.
So tragic. Absolutely tragic.
They've never cared. They never cared. Since the moment Jim Henson's heart stopped beating, they have never cared about the Muppets.
Indeed. Sione Race with the 199. That is too bad. It is too bad because, man, I really wanted to see the Muppets really utilized in such an amazing way, because there's so much potential right there. And I know Jim Henson was so excited to be working with Audiomatronics. He thought, hey, this is the natural extension, the natural evolution of these characters to be in Audiomatronic form. He just thought the technology and the art form of puppetry just worked beautifully together, and was so excited to be in that space. But unfortunately, outside of maybe some little characters in MuppetVision 3D, we just never got the full shebang that I think Jim Henson always envisioned. And that is unfortunate.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.